uh, in the last class we are discussing about the tunable optical filters. So we have seen that what is the significance of tunable optical filters and all. Okay, so what kind of parameter will be tuned in the tunable filter, that also we have seen. That is we will be seeing that lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n, that means what wavelength will be tuned. Okay, so the tuned wavelength will be in the range of this particular wavelength, that is lambda 1 to lambda n, that is wavelength 1 to wavelength n. Between this particular range only, output of the tuned wavelength also will be available. Okay, so it cannot exceed the lambda n value. Okay, that means what to the minimum and to the maximum. So between this particular range only, the tuned will be stick on to the minimum possibility, and so we have understood. So we have seen that how the fabric cavity, so the major do the alterations in the placements of the mirror. That means for distance between the mirror, so fabric cavity. So usually the fabric cavity will be used to obtain the laser light. Okay, that is monochromatic high intensity light. So now after this one, when we are replacing the position of the two mirrors, so what exactly happened? The movement of the light between to and fro, that it will take the longer distance if you keep the two mirrors apart. So it will take more time to come. That means what it will, the intensity of the beam will be somewhat less. The wavelength will be more. So if you keep the mirrors in a very near position, so the to and fro motion will be, so the intensity developed will be very fast. So frequency will be very fast, very high. So when the frequency is very high, so what exactly happens is the wavelength will come down. Okay, so that is what exactly the concept here. After this, this diagram wise, we have seen that how it is going to work and all. So after that, we have understood the dynamic gain equalizers. So in the dynamic gain equalizers, the purpose of the equal. So that particular thing you can able to see from this particular diagram. So it is wavelength spectrum, it will be available. So whatever the receiving signals are there, so that particular receiving signal, so which is present. So after the dynamic gain equalizer, so when the dynamic gain equalizer it is fed, so it will take the one particular wavelength will be minimum, another particular will be maximum. It is something like a mathematics. Okay, and all the will take the all the, once we take all the values, so we will be finding that what is the median or what is the average value. That particular median or average value, we are going to take it and we are going to consider that as output. Okay, so you can see that as output. So we are getting this particular thing. Okay. So next thing is what what are the other applications of dynamic gain equalizer. So it has having some of the features like compensates for attenuation losses. It overcomes with the channel attenuation. So add or drop of the different light component to the networking multiplexer. So these are the other particular things what we have. Okay. So next is what optical add or drop multiplexers. So in the optical add or drop multiplexers, so this is the today topic we'll discuss. So optical add slash drop multiplexer. So these are designed. So what is this particular add or drop multiplexer? So you can see that. So optical signals will get added or will be dropped. That means what we want to drop and another signal we want to add. So that particular provision is available. Okay, that is what exactly the meaning optical add or drop multiplexers, ADM. Add, drop, multiplexer. That means what addition is also possible, deletion is also possible. Optical add, drop, multiplexer. These are designed to add to the network signal stream and drop out one wavelength channel. So one particular wavelength channel we are going to drop it. Okay. So and another wavelength channel will be taken into consideration. That is what exactly the concept here. Okay. How it is been achieved, we'll discuss. We'll see in the diagram. So your addition and extraction of single channel at a time is controlled by mirror adjustment using MEMS technology. So here it's a very simple concept. Okay. So if since light is traveling, the mirrors are very important. So in order to send the mirror, okay, in order to send the mirrors, okay. So in order to send the signals, some mirror reflective medium. So just by adjusting, know that once the light is been incidented on the mirror, so the placement of the mirror, if you just change it, so the direction of the flow of the optical signal will get changed. That is what exactly the small experiments you very much knowing thing also will do that particular signal to one direction. So when this particular thing is being done, we'll see in the slide. So I'll just take the ask you to, yeah. I request all of you to take this particular diagram. So once you take this particular diagram, you will come to know how exactly. I request all of you please take down the diagram. So in the diagram, you can able to see that, okay, just the network issue has happened. Am I audible and it is screen visible properly, right? All of you. I repeat, the screen is visible and my voice is audible, right? Any one of you please raise your hand or say chat in the chat box. You please post your comment. My question is, am I audible and the screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir, it's visible and audible.
Thank you. So now I request all of you to just go through the diagram and please take down this particular diagram. So here you can see that there are input ports and there are output ports. And along with the input and output ports, there are add ports and drop ports. Okay. How many input output ports are there? That many number of add ports and drop out ports are also available. Okay. So now we can see that. Okay. So when you are talking about the input ports, okay, we'll take the signal 1. The one signal is imposed and it Okay, for the input port, one input signal and it has gone to the output port. It is not a problem. In the fourth port also the input is being given and we are going to get at the output port. That is not also a problem. But you can see that in the port number 3, okay, in the input port number 3, so we have sent a signal. So once we sent a signal, so the signal is been dropped. Okay, the signal is been dropped. You can see that there is a mirror. So that particular mirror is been placed away. Okay, so when the signal is been coming to the mirror, so it will direct the mirror to the port. Okay, so it will go to the dropout port directly. So once it is been taken out of the dropout port, the channel is empty. So for that, what will happen? We'll add the signal from the add port. So you can see that lambda A, lambda B, lambda C, lambda D provision is there. That means what? Lambda 1, lambda 2 like that. So in the lambda B, okay. So we have sent one signal and we have placed another mirror. So in such a way that when the particular signal is entering into the device, so what it will do? It will take the device, it will take the signal and by through the reflection mechanism, it will send to the correct channel. Okay, so in the correct path it will send. So in the output port, the signal will come out. Okay, so now one signal is being dropped and another signal is being added. So suppose if you want to add it, fine. So you see, simply you cannot add. So unless and until there is a one limitation for this one, unless and until you drop one signal, you cannot add the signal. Why? Because without dropping, the channel will not be empty. So for a, if the channel is not empty, you cannot add the signal. In order to add the signal, okay, in order to add the signal, so we need to drop the signal first. That is what exactly the limitation. Okay, so if the no signal is coming to it, then we can add it. Okay, so for example, as I told you, so in the first path, if you see, the signal is not coming. So the signal is not coming and if it is empty, the channel is empty, the line is empty. The line is empty, we can able to add the signal to it. Okay, that is what exactly the basic principle of add or drop multiplexer. Okay, so please take this particular diagram, all of you. This is a very important diagram. So once you take this particular diagram, you will understand many things. Please take it down, all of you. So I'll give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes of time. Please read the diagram, all of you. So please write down diagram. So here when writing the diagram, I must be very careful that input ports, okay, representation is very important. Representation of input ports, output ports, drop ports and add ports. So all these things are very important thing. So in the add ports, we must always think that, okay, we must always think that lambda A, lambda B, lambda C, lambda. That means what here 4 input ports are there. So obviously 4 add ports are also there, 4 drop ports are also there, and 4 output ports are also there. That means what the 4 channels we can say. Okay, so if you have only one channel, so it is not a correct thing. So how much input ports are there, how much channels are there, so that many ports are also must be there. That is what exactly the concept here. So output input ports, output ports. drop ports as well as add ports. So this is the basic principle of ADM, that is add, drop, multiplexer. Multiplexer means what? Many signals will be combined and they will be sending to the channel. This is a basic principle. Okay, so please take this particular diagram and they ask you explain the basic principle of ADM. So you must be able to write this particular diagram and explanation. Please take this particular diagram. So once you've taken this particular diagram, we can move to the next things, schematic. Okay, so inside this particular, you can see the schematic first. Okay, schematic of add drop multiplexer. So the here also there is a input port, there is a output port, and there is a add port and drop port. Okay, so here we can see that this is a schematic. Schematic means what? Only one direction, one signal direct representation we have made here. Okay, so input port, we can see that in the input port the lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda up to lambda n is coming. Okay, so in the output that is port lambda 1, lambda 2. So now here lambda 3 we need to remove. Okay, so what exactly we are doing is we are going to add port. So in that particular port lambda a has been imposed. We have taken the lambda a and that particular lambda a has been added and lambda 3 will be dropped out. Okay, so instead of lambda 3 they have taken lambda d here. Okay, so you make sure that it is a lambda 3 or lambda d, anything is fine, no problem. But the representation, you just understand that one signal has been added, so which place it has got added, that particular place, whatever the previous data was there, that previous wavelength was there, that will be dropped out. That is what exactly the simple concept here. So please take this particular diagram also. So please take this particular diagram, all of you. So here when the question is asked like explain add drop multiplexer. So you must be in a position to answer this particular diagram also, the next diagram also. So you must write this particular two diagrams, and you need to write the explanation part of it. So when you see the explanation part of it, you can see that here these are designed to add to the network signal stream and drop out one wavelength channel. So once this particular thing is been designed like this, so addition and extraction of signal, addition and extraction of single channel at a time is controlled by mirror adjustment. Okay, so as I told you, as I explained you in the diagram, so how the mirror is being placed, and we are going to get the particular thing, that particular thing you need to explain here, that is the addition and extraction of signal single channel at a time is controlled by mirror adjustment using MEMS technology. See, adjustment of mirror, so it will be done through the mirror. Okay, so that particular mirror operation will be controlled by MEMS technology. It is micro electromechanical system. That means what? So mechanism we are going to feed it. So that particular mechanism will take care. Okay, so that is how it is going to work. So unless and until the mirror adjustment is been made, so we cannot get the proper signals out of it. So here incoming channel can be dropped from stream by activating the corresponding mirror. So when you activate the corresponding mirror, the incoming signal will be dropped. Similarly, free channel can be filled by using mirror adjustment. So once the channel is being free, so that free channel will be filled by using the mirror adjustments. That is what exactly the concept here. Okay, so incoming channel can be dropped from stream by activating the corresponding mirror. Similarly, free channel can be filled by using the mirror adjustments. So you please make a note of this particular sentences, all of you. So once you have done this particular thing, okay, so I hope that you people have taken this diagram, and I think that you people also taken this particular diagram. So these are the related explanation and related figures which are there for the ADM, that is add or drop multiplexers. So now after understanding all these things, we can go for the optical amplifier. So now in the receiver side, now we are already discussing in the receiver side. Okay, so in the receiver side, what is the thing? So in the receiver's thing, once the signal is been received, okay, the multiplexing action, if it is required, we will do it. So once the multiplexing action is also been done, what is the next thing? The next thing is very simple. We need to go for the optical amplifier. Okay, so what is this particular amplification? Once the signal has been ready with you, so if the amplification is required, so we need to go for the optical amplification. Okay, so that is what exactly the concept. So what is this particular concept? Optical amplification. So where the name indicates. So name indicates what? Amplification. Amplification is the increasing the intensity of the signal. So in the increasing the intensity of the signal, so here what kind of signal? Optical. Optical means what? Light energy. So in the whole syllabus we are discussing about the light energy only. So optical amplifier, there is a need for optical amplifier to compensate the losses due to the attenuation at light pulse travels down the fiber. So there is a need for optical amplifier to compensate the losses due to the attenuation at the light pulse travels down the fiber. So here, when we are doing something, there should be a need. Okay, what is that particular need? The need is very simple. The need is optical amplifier is required in order to compensate the losses. So where the losses will be occurring? Losses may be occurring due to the attenuation at the light pulse, so which travels down the fiber. Okay, so there is a need for optical amplifier to compensate the losses due to the attenuation at the light pulse travels down the fiber. Okay, so there may be two methods of strengthening the signal. So here you people are very much familiar with the electronics, the things that. So what are the ways we are going to strengthen the signal? One is what straight away we can use the amplifier, and when using the amplifier, the signal will be boosted up. That is the first thing. Second thing is what in between while receiving the signal only. So if you are using the repeaters, so repeaters, buffers, and all if you are using, so in that particular method also we can boost the signal level. So there may be two methods of strengthening the signal, namely the repeaters can use and optical we can say that we can use the optical amplifiers. So there may be two methods of strengthening the signal. The first one is what up to the mark. The intensity of the signal is up to the mark. If it is not there, if due to the attenuation boost up the signal, so repeater will make sure that this particular signal is original signal only. So that is the one way of boost strengthening the signal. So at the last stage, so you receive signal. So the repeater after repeater sending, so at the last stage, there is amount of losses which are present in the signal, and if you are not using repeater, there may be huge loss of signal. So particular time also, this particular thing will help you. Okay, the amplifiers. So here, since the repeaters cannot be used to build the WDM link, there is a limitation for repeater. What is that particular limitation? Since repeaters cannot be used to build the WDM links, so that is wide wavelength division multiplexing links and networks, we must go for the amplifiers. So there is a limitation. What is the limitation? Since repeaters cannot be used to build the WDM links and networks, so we must go for the amplifiers. We must go for the amplifiers. Okay, so that is why we are going for amplifier. So you please make a note of this particular thing. There is a need for optical amplifier in order to compensate the losses due to the attenuation. First thing. Second thing is there are two methods of strengthening the signal. The first method is repeaters. Second method is optical amplifiers. Okay, so out of these two things, repeaters cannot be used to build the WDM links. Okay, and the networks, okay, links and networks we cannot able to build it. Wavelength division multiplexing cannot be happening, and see what happens, repeaters once you design, it is designed for one particular wavelength. So when we are doing the wavelength division multiplexing, so obviously the repeater will get confusion. Okay, so the corresponding wavelength is not matching. So in order to avoid all those things, okay, so we must go for the amplifiers. That is the first thing. Okay, so the optical amplifiers purely work in optical domain without converting photons to electrons and vice versa. This is very important thing. Once optical amplifiers, we give the name. So once we give the name as optical amplifiers, obviously optical amplifiers must work in the optical domain only. So once they are working in the optical domain only, so they should not convert the photons to electrons. That means what? Photon energy should not be converted into electron energy. That means what? Light energy should not convert it into electrical energy, and electrical energy should not convert it into light energy. So vice versa should also be maintained. Okay, so that is what exactly the concept here. So optical amplifiers purely work in optical domain without converting photons to electrons and vice versa. So please make a note of these particular things. Optical amplifiers purely work in the optical domain without converting photons to electrons and vice versa. So once you have taken this one, we can go for the next thing, that is the basic applications of optical amplifiers. So where exactly we can use the optical amplifiers? Okay, so you can see that based on the function. So based on the function, what they do? Okay, these particular optical amplifiers are categorized into three types. So what are the three types it can be categorized? So it can be categorized like the first one is what? Boosters. The second one is what? Inline amplifiers. The third one is what? Pre-amplifiers. So now you please take down this particular all three category, all of you. So once you have taken the all three categories, we can see the next one. Okay, so we can see the one by one in detail. So first to make a note of this one, basic applications of optical amplifiers. In that, based on the function, what they do, these are categorized into three types. So what are the category? The first one is what? Boosters. Second one is what? Inline amplifiers. The third one is what? Pre-amplifiers. So please make sure that you're writing these particular three headings. So once you've done this one, okay, so we can go for the first one, that is the boosters. So the name indicates booster. Booster is required where? So once a receiver signal is being received, okay, once we signal, okay, so booster means what? When we understand that the received once output, okay, once the optical receiver is receiving the signal which is of lesser intensity. So now we understand one thing from it. So once we understand that one, so we need to understand another thing, that if the optical receiver is receiving the signal in a lower level, so if we increase the sending quantity, sending intensity, so obviously optical receiver will receive in a better way. Okay, that particular indication it is giving, that is called as what? Booster. So here we can see in the diagram, so booster amplifier, so where it is present, there is a gain G. Okay, so there is an optical transmitter block, there is an optical receiver block. So between this optical transmitter and receiver part, okay, so there you can see that there is a booster amplifier. So in the booster amplifier, so you can see that optical amplifier will give the signal to the booster. So booster will boost the signal to the desired level where the optical receiver will receive in a correct way. So once it see that, you can see the level of intensity, optical transmitter will transmit the signal, so in a one particular energy level. So with the booster amplifier it will be boosted, so it will be boosted signal will be sent. So now when it is traveling in the fiber, due to the attenuation, once again signal level will come down. Okay, once the signal level is coming down, you can see that how much level of signal is coming down, that we need to understand. So optical receiver will receive the leveled down signal, but Once we check that one, that level down signal and that optical signal which is transmitted from the optical transmitter, both signals are of same intensity. So that indicates what? We need to understand, we need to have the pre-idea that how much amount of boosting need to be done in order to achieve the exact quantity of the input and output. Okay, so it depends on the length of the fiber, it depends on length of the fiber as well as attenuation factors and all. So please take this particular diagram, all of you. It is a power amplifier which magnifies a transmitted signal before sending it down the fiber. So it is also known as power amplifier. Okay, it is also known as power amplifier because since it increases the power in the input side. Please take this particular diagram, all of you. You can write down that it is a power amplifier which magnifies a transmitted signal before sending it down to the fiber. So it is also known as power amplifier since it amplifies the signal in the input side. So please take down this particular diagram, all of you. So as I told you, your attendance is very much required, students. Please attend the classes regularly. So once you are done with the booster, we can go for inline amplifier. So inline amplifier, I can see very clearly that in line, that means what optical fiber is there, that is called as what line. So in between the line, so we can use the inline amplifier, so that between the optical transmitter and receiver block, the signal amplification is being done. Okay, this is also one of the way. Okay, instead of repeaters, we can use that inline amplifier. Okay, so we can write this particular diagram. And if you see the explanation part of it, an inline amplifier amplifies the signal in the middle of the fiber optic link. Here the main requirement of such amplifier is stability over the entire WDM bandwidth. So here one of the major requirement for the such amplifier is stability over the entire WDM bandwidth. So here its primary action is to compensate for power losses caused by attenuation and signal distortion, especially in the single mode links. So its primary action is to compensate for power losses caused by attenuation and signal distortion, especially in the single mode links. This is one of the important thing here. Okay. So see, both all the amplifiers will compensate the power losses, and this power loss can be caused by due to the attenuation signal distortion. But there are some specific reasons. Small deviations in the reasons are applicable. Okay, so its primary action is to compensate for power losses caused by attenuation of the signal distortion. So here especially in the single mode links. So the inline amplifier, if it is a multi-mode links, we cannot use this particular inline amplifier. That is what the indication here. Okay, if it is single mode, then only we can use. If you want to use the multi-mode, what exactly happen is we cannot use it, and if you want to use it, we may having more number of what you call for that amplifiers are required. That is what exactly the meaning. Okay. So please take this particular diagram, all of you. Under 5 minutes is there, so we'll stop at this particular point.